Unhappy Valley is the debacle in Beaver Stadium was called. We'll break it down tonight and chat about what Iowa has in store for Huskers in the Big Red Wrap-Up. Hey everyone, I'm Michael Severe. Welcome to Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media. The Huskers are trying to close their regular season on a high note against Iowa, and we want to hear your opinion. But let's go to the sideline survey now. Last week's sideline survey, we asked you how many teams do you think the Big Ten will get in the college football playoff? And 51% of people said 3 is where we seem to be right now, pretty close. 4 teams was at 23, and still a possibility of Michigan beats Ohio State Saturday. Let's go to this week's question. It's more Husker-centric. What's your mood for the Huskers sitting at 7-4 going into the Iowa game? Are you pleased, okay with it, unhappy, 47% early, angry, 20%, and don't care is 22%. Joining me now, former Husker Jay Moore and Sean Callahan. What were you more disappointed in? The offense getting 10 points or the defense giving up, I think, like 7.5 yards a carry to Singleton and Allen?
Yeah, definitely the performance of the defense. When your head coach comes out and says they busted on the first 8 plays defensively in the 11th game of the season, that is very alarming to me. That's concerning.
Yeah.
I know this defense is young. I know they're very inexperienced, but in your 11th game, so I try to draw parallels, right, of how do you get to that point in your 11th game? Is it, A, did you try to do too much install during bye week and your players were not able to grasp it and take it to the game? Or did you not do enough in preparing them and saying, hey, let's get some more rest and recovery, and then you go out in Penn State and they were just more physical, and that was definitely the case. But that's not stopping the run. That's obviously been a very consistent problem for this defense. But the 7.3 to those 2, but he knew he had to slow those guys down, and they went into a fist fight and they weren't prepared. So that's what I take from that game. That's what I am unhappy about. If you want to take that back to the question, they just from after they did not convert on that 4th down play, Nebraska didn't seem like they belonged on the same field physically and athletically as Penn State, and that does not sit well with me. Yeah,
I mean, it was only 10-0, 10-3. Nebraska's in the game. Why do you think the offense struggled so much being able to get some movement, and why do you think Taylor Latif didn't run more? It seemed like we were going to expect that.
Yeah, early on, I thought Nebraska had a couple good drives to start the game, and I think if they could have gotten more out of that than 3 points, I think the game's different. I'm not saying they're winning the game, but I'm saying that the feel and the flow of the game. But it got to a point when the defense gave up so many points. They dropped TJ Latif back 45 times on pass calls. That's just too many. I mean, he really shouldn't be over 30, let alone high 20s. And you drop your true freshman back on the road in State College 45 times. So the game plan was interesting. You think about the rushing yards, Michael. They only had, I believe, 57 rushing yards after quarter 1, Nebraska. 23 carries, I believe, for 57 yards was what they finished with after that first quarter, where Nebraska looked like they were going to run for 200-plus yards easily. And after they made Johnson run, we just didn't really see the flow that you wanted to see and the big playability this offense can produce.
And I believe 12 of those were from Latif, which I thought he'd get a lot more because Penn State had given up a lot of rushing yards to quarterbacks. The mindset thing, Sierra Wright mentions it after the game. You had a team that was playing for their assistant coach, playing for bowl eligibility, senior day. Their mindset was better than Nebraska's mindset?
Yeah, to me, it seemed that way. They looked like the hungrier team. They looked like a team that they're trying to fight for their coach and fight for respect. And this season got off such to a poor start for them, and you lose to Oregon, you lose to UCLA, you come back and you lose your starting quarterback, and you lose to Northwestern, and then your head coach gets fired. So they're fighting for a little respect and try to have another game to play for. And Nebraska just kind of seemed like they weren't right. That their mindset definitely wasn't nowhere near to where Penn State's was, and it showed. And Nebraska's got to take this time and look at yourself in the mirror. And I tell you what, I love the fact, after a performance like this, I love the fact that they have a short week.
Yeah.
Love that. You can rinse it. You definitely got to learn from the mistakes. You just can't completely forget and say, hey, we're on to Iowa. You got to learn. But I love the short week to kind of come in, learn, learn from your mistakes, but also, okay, let's flush it now, and let's get prepared for a Black Friday game against Iowa.
I know that Matt Rule kind of downplayed it, but the difference between 8-4 and beating Iowa and 7-5 and losing to Iowa is huge for this program.
No doubt. And I mean, you just think about it from like a bowl game perspective. Obviously, you'd go to a better bowl, probably Tampa, but the number of people that would travel. I mean, I feel like I have a good feel of this fan base.
Sure.
And if they get that win over Iowa, there will be such a feeling of happiness that people like, I want to go watch a bowl game now. I want to go to Florida. It's going to be awesome. So, but if you lose, there'll still be people that would go to Vegas or wherever it could be, Nashville, Vegas, wherever, but it just wouldn't have the same feeling. So I do think you look at the wins for Matt Rule. The best wins this year have been Cincinnati and Northwestern. Yeah. To me, that there isn't kind of a hang your hat on. You're Nebraska football. You don't hang your hat on a win over Northwestern. So you need something like this to kind of really sell the progress, especially that you're trying to sell here in year 3.
I know that a couple of weeks ago, John Butler said it was low-hanging fruit about the pass defense, and that's come back a lot against him. But I mentioned to you, against the 5 best rushing teams, and I put Minnesota in there, and they're not one of the best rushing teams, but 211 yards average. Now you're going against a team that gets about 170 a game. How worried are you about the matchup?
I'm very worried. You had me guess before, and I said 178, and you said 211. I was shocked, but not. I mean, you look back at that, completely surprised. Very concerned. This football's a copycat league. Teams, what USC did to Nebraska against the run, what Penn State able to do, the counteractions, just putting your defense in a tough spot. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep testing you, and there's no doubt about it. And what Kirk Ferentz, we've seen this for 10 plus years now. They're going to just do basic stuff, make you stay patient, make you earn everything, and see if you can play good, solid, gap-sound defense. And if they don't, they're going to convert, and they're going to make you play solid fundamentals. And that's very concerning to me. I think this game comes down to Nebraska stopping the run. If they don't, I don't think Nebraska will be able to get it done on Friday. If they can improve, set the edge. If you're going to spill, linebackers get on top, you're going to box it, and keep your outside arm leg free and go make a play. But when you have guys busting like you had against Penn State, that's going to be hard to beat anybody in the Big Ten.
Sean, I'm curious, what do you think about in terms of Iowa fans coming into the stadium? 11 a.m., it's Black Friday, obviously, but do you expect there to be a big contingent of them?
Yeah, they're always. I mean, I'd say for visiting Big Ten teams, they're by far the most. Ohio State's up there too.
Right.
But this is an 11 a.m. kick, so the travel will be a little bit more challenging to get here. If it was a night game or even a 2:30 like we had seen previously, you would probably see more. But I think it will be a step above what we're used to seeing for a normal road team. They'll obviously fill their allotment, and there's going to be more Hawkeye fans sprinkled in. But it's a challenge for Husker fans too. It's going to be cold. It's an early kick right after the holiday, where last year Iowa got the same game at night.
Yes.
And I think if you're Troy Dannon, you're really like, hey, why can't we get this game at night? It'd be nice to have a light show on. I'd like to see the light show with a turkey up there one of these times.
Plus a whole nother full day almost of rest for a team that's coming off the road playing in a short week already versus a team that played at home at 2:30. All of that doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense.
No, and because of some of these tolerances in the league, like Michigan and Ohio State, for example, they won't play them at night on week 13 because they want to protect the brand. I mean, the Ohio State-Michigan game is the biggest piece of property in college football. And so, of course, those teams had nice, kind of friendly Saturday kicks. For Nebraska, that was the latest night game Penn State's ever played. For them, it was rare to play a night game this late in November. But that's kind of where this Big Ten television contract is. It's struggling right now as far as against the SEC. The SEC has dominated the Big Ten in the television rankings, to the point where Ohio State Rutgers was on Big Noon Kickoff. It still drew 4.1 million.
Right.
But it because of Michigan not being Michigan and Penn State not being Penn State at the level we're used to, the whole entire TV kind of brand and value of this deal has suffered a little bit this year.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So let's talk, going back to the defense, because I think it's important to understand, and I asked you a number of times different ways about inexperience and how much that is, but part of it is simply rigor, right? You've got to be physical with your hands, good with your feet, and know your responsibilities, right? If you're supposed to be taking on the block, if you're supposed to be, just getting rid of the block, if you're the edge, if you're the spill guy, all of that has to be done right.
100%. It has to be done right Monday through Friday.
Right, yeah.
So when I see them struggle, I mean, I just don't think it's very rare if you prepare well. And I know you get the coach speak by a lot of guys. Oh, we prepared well, we practiced well, and then you don't do it. I'm like, I don't necessarily buy that. I know they kind of have to protect your players and fall on the sword sometimes, but you have to do it right Monday through Friday. You have to be physical. You have to do the small things. You have to get good on good competition, even during a bye week. You have to get good competition, good one-on-ones, even during the season. Because you have to stay sharp. Those things are important.
Yeah, right.
If you're an edge defender, and you know it's going against a Spindler or whatever it is, a starting offensive line, it's much different than going against a scout team guy. You have to get those good reps, and you need those, especially with a young team. You have to stress them. You got to push them.
Yeah.
You can't with young players. You have to teach them the right way to practice and then teach them the right way to prepare. That's where I mean, listen, you're talking to a guy who played as a young player and did not prepare the right way. I thought I could kind of get myself through the week, and it showed. I wasn't as good when it came to Saturdays. Once I started practicing the right way in the middle of the week and preparing the right way, my game elevated. And once you start doing that, you see the rewards. All you want to do is continue to prepare better. So that's the maturity level of.
Yes.
I think that's what's with this young team is learning how to prepare the right way. You can't just roll your in the middle of the week and think you can kind of half step through things and I'll show up on Saturday. It's not going to happen. This isn't high school. This isn't. You just can't do that anymore. You got to. The maturity is preparing the right way, and I think that's what's lacking right now with Nebraska and their inconsistencies within this defense.
Sean, when you look at what the program is, they have a very inexperienced defensive line coach. Really, they have an inexperienced DC who hadn't done it since back when he was at Penn State when they were under sanctions. What do you think about this staff on that side of the ball?
You make a good point. I mean, the veteran coaches happen to all be in the secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Addison Williams.
And they're playing the best.
And Phil Snow and even Butler with his background where, you know, even Phil Simpson's your edge guy. And he's kind of a rookie coach right out of high school. Terry Braden's never been a true run-the-room guy. He's always been the assistant position coach. So you make a good point there, Michael, about kind of the makeup of this staff. The back end is very veteran. The front, you know, Dvorak's the veteran of that group. And, you know, Matt Rule gave him his first job as kind of a full-time position coach.
Yeah. He played for him, right?
He played for Rule at Temple.
Yeah.
You know, he's obviously been, you know, a guy they think very highly of. But yeah, you're right. That front seven group of coaches is relatively young in the grand scheme of things when you kind of look at it the way you just broke it down.
How do you think the growth of the D-line has been? Honestly, when I watch the game, Petchak probably jumps off the page more than any of the other guys who've been there longer in the program than he has.
He's definitely a guy that's developed nicely, he's come along nicely, has some pop, has some burst, has some twitchy ability about him. I think Noweri has showed a lot of. I mean, some games. That Michigan State game earlier this year was his best game of the career. You saw Keanu Davis play well against UCLA just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So they have guys. I don't buy into they're not big enough. I've stood next to these
You know how
guys
many 300-pounders Iowa has?
You know how many?
Zero.
Enlighten us.
They have zero.
On the whole roster?
They have zero defensive linemen that are over 300 pounds.
You know,
one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. And Indiana's only got one guy that's over 300 pounds, and it's I think the second or best rushing defense behind.
Size helps. Strength helps. But I've been on a lot of football teams where guys are absolute maniacs in the weight room, can lift all the weight. They get on the field, they don't know how to utilize it.
Yeah.
But I also been around guys who aren't very strong, but play with elite pad level, hand placement, and technique. So they know how to do those things. Coach them the right way. Develop the players the right way.
Yeah.
You can get a lot out of smaller, undersized guys if you work them and teach them the correct techniques to do those things. So yeah, if you have size, that helps, but it's not everything.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that play a lot of years in the NFL who are undersized. Aaron
Donald's the greatest ever. He's like 5'11".
Yes, one of the great, arguably the best D-line in the NFL. Period.
Yeah.
And he's touching 6 foot barely. So, I think they'll get there. Again, we got to remember those players are they're still young. But you made a good point about the youth of that coaching staff too, and just being the main guy in the room, the meeting room. That takes some growth as well.
Yeah, let's go to the highlights. I know it's not going to be easy to watch Well, we got to do it. It's part of the show. It's in the contract. Matt Rhule returning home to where he played college ball and not too far from his high school alma mater as well. We get into the highlights. Nebraska started off great. This is a great run, great blocking. Emmett gets off. Now, obviously, he doesn't have top-end speed, but that's a great run to get started in the game.
Yeah, I'll break this play down later, but Rocco Spindler does a really good job of working inside, back to his right, up to the next level to seal out that linebacker. Then Emmett just does Emmett things.
And a wide receiver block down the field.
That was a career-long run for him.
Really, it was. So I think he's had 2 of his career-long runs this season. There was the run on 3rd down, and then the run on, this is the 3rd down one, and then the run on 4th down, they just kind of get abused a little bit inside.
You get Powell. We'll see this one as well. They were just outnumbered. I mean, the 24, they just unaccountable, got downhill. They would love to see a little QB run game in that situation.
Oh, yeah, I think he keeps it on the boot. He scores. Explosive plays were the key for Penn State. You had one just now in the pass, and then this situation when they lost the edge again.
I'm not quite sure what Cam Lenhart's doing here. He just, again, the feel, right? He just thought the play was going to bounce it back inside, and he just would stay there with the firm edge, and like he goes out of bounds for a 2-yard gain. Yeah,
that was your spider wide 2 banana thing right there. They ran a little inside getting and on this play, I said it when it happened, this is an illegal blindside block. Yeah. I know originally Todd Blackledge defended it, and then the official came back, but that is textbook. You can't block back towards like that. You can't do it. It's just an illegal blindside block.
Yep, they should have been called, wasn't.
Yeah, wasn't called. I mean, can't blame everything on referees. 7-0, Penn State is up. Nebraska comes back. I love him on sprint out. TJ Lateef is really good, especially going his right on sprint out. Another productive run. I think this is the longest run by Mekhi Nelson of his career.
Yeah, he ran hard, guys.
He did. I'd like to see more of him. And this is something that we knew was going to happen. When Nebraska struggles up front, they go to the screen game. Last year against Ohio State, and a lot of these plays didn't gain any yards.
Yeah, Penn State only actually blitzed 9 times in the game. They disguised pressure well, though, and it led Nebraska to call a lot of screens.
It's a big game for Allen and for Singleton. Both those guys going after records. Touchdown record and all-time rushing record for Kaytron Allen. Back comes Penn State, but a stop from Nebraska. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Get a field goal. It's 10-3. Big return. Kenneth Williams is not back there because he's got some stiffness. Jacoby Barney, longest kickoff return of the season against Penn State. And you're in good position now to actually get back into this game. And one of the few runs by TJ Lateef on the game. I think he really only had 2 runs total outside of the sack stuff. Inside.
Stay inside.
Yeah. He stayed inside by Pritchett.
He might soar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he was seeing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he saw that inside guy coming, but you had Harburg there, you have Pritchett.
Yeah.
That might have hit us out in the goalpost.
Yeah, exactly. I think he would have. Here's a nice try to throw back shoulder, ends up forcing the field goal. Nebraska gets the field goal, makes it 10-3. Again, Nebraska's in this game. It's not a blowout. They're not overwhelming them. They just got to make some plays. Here's one of the things that was concerning. Lack of pressure from Nebraska allows guys to get open.
You see that right side of the D-line. They just get owned. I mean, there's nobody that got through there.
Yeah.
Nebraska struggled with those havoc plays all year.
Really struggled here with the physicality of the running game. This is an extra 7 yards from the first contact. After contact for Allen there, or Singleton, whoever it is, they all look the same. And then a touchdown into the end zone makes it 17-3. Again, Nebraska's not out of the game at this point, but it's starting to look bad, and this really hurts. Bad decision bringing it out.
One of the few, I mean, with that play, then obviously getting the fake punt, special teams have been really good, but this was arguably some of the plays they had just cost Nebraska.
I would love to go individually and break down these. It's wrong steps off the snap. I don't know what you're seeing, but you're seeing a Guthrie or the linebacker inside go the wrong direction off the snap, which once you take the one step, then the backside blocker comes and gets you. And
toast.
There's nothing you can do.
No, that's all it takes. False step.
Up 23-3 now. Another open wide receiver, lack of pressure on Gruttenmeyer. And here's another example of just there's guys there. They have to get off the blocks.
Yeah, Nebraska's off-tackle plays, stopping the run, that's been the weakness all year. Just get off a block. Your job's done. Go make a play.
Yeah. Allen with another touchdown, making it 30-3. Nebraska trying to come back, get some yards. Nice pass by TJ Lateef. I think actually this drive, in terms of the throws he makes this overthrow right here, which that's a great throw over the corner's head, putting it against the sideline, and then he drops that throw into the bucket. It's not this one because he gets sacked on this one. It ends the drive. 5 total times Nebraska ended drives on downs. 5 times. Singleton actually had a really good defensive game. Back-to-back plays, a sack, and also a TFL. And I believe, this is the one where he drops it in the bucket to Emmett. That's a great throw.
Fantastic throw.
That's a true freshman in his second full start. First one on the road, makes that throw. Outstanding throw there. Again, he's really good on sprint out because he can do this. Guy's covered, then he can run for the first down. In the first half, he didn't run. They corrected him. He made the change. So it shows that he will learn. And then this is just athleticism.
This is the element that he brings that we haven't seen with I love Lindenmeyer's block here, just kind of putting the arms up to screen him off. That was really smart, heady play by him.
Exactly.
But I love the element of using his legs.
That makes it 30-10. Nebraska kind of getting a feel, thinking maybe they could make a little run. There's still a lot of time left in the game. But then the fake punt, good call by them, They probably saw something on tape and said, if they line up that way, we're going to run this.
It's, you have the rugby and you roll out to one way and you get your line moving to that side, and let's kind of counter back off of it.
Another touchdown by Allen, another inside play where guys took the wrong way and got scooped inside, and that happens. Nebraska trying to get some points. This is one of the longer plays against Penn State in this game. That one right there was, I believe, the 7th time that Barney has had a 30-plus yard play this season, which puts him top 5 in the Big Ten in all-purpose. And this again, trying to score, ending on downs. Nebraska falls 37-10. Let's take a look at some of the stats. And as you can see, the domination there, 100 more rushing yards, even on passing yards. But it came down to them not having to throw the ball and running it, and Nebraska having to do it. No players in the game, although I thought Deshaun Singleton played really well on the second half in the secondary. 27-point loss. Let's break down the good, the bad, and maybe the ugly with Jay's plays.
All right, welcome in to the plays tonight. We're going to look at the opening drive in Nebraska against Penn State last Saturday. One good, one bad. Let's look at the first one of the good play. I'm going to highlight Rocco Spindler. This is all him right here. He's going to do a good job. He has this guy in his play side A. He's going to work here, but knows Justin Evans. He crosses face. He's all right. So what he's going to do is work back here to help out connect. But then, as he knows he's good, he's going to work up second level to help seal this linebacker. So just a really good job of working multiple spots. All right, that's high-level stuff. That's high-level execution. In, out, up to seal that for one of the best running backs in the country to break off a 52-yarder and get Nebraska in business. So we know what happens next, right? Nebraska gets down here on the goal line. They try to run power. So power is down, down, kick out, guard, kick out, right? But too many guys. 24 right here, Penn State. He's not accounted for. He's going to come right down here and make the play. We saw this. Penn State is just overloaded. Too many players. It would have been nice to have a little boot action off of this by TJ Lateef, but they don't. Again, power. Too many guys to that side of the football for Penn State. Don't get it. We know what happens next. It was a long day for the Big Red. Let's go back to Michael.
Thanks, Jay. Next up, we'll be joined by Stephen M. Sipple to look back more on the game after the loss. And also, once we go to break, we get some great shots from Hurrdat Sports. We're back in 2 minutes.
I think they kicked our ass. Obviously, that's the obvious answer. They had a plan to come in and run the football. They were a big physical, very big and very physical offensive line that played very well together. They were a motivated team. Not to say they weren't in the past, but you can clearly see the different level of energy and execution. Their backs are two very good backs. We had a plan. We knew they were going to run the ball. We had multiple blitzes, multiple fronts. We played 3 down fronts, 4 down fronts, 5 down fronts. We blitzed, we played base, we played single high man, single high zone, and they had an answer for everything. So kind of chalk it up to it is what it is. It wasn't our best day at the office, and we quickly have moved on to Iowa, but there's obviously still a lot of stuff to learn from it.
No, it means a little more. It means a little more. It means a little bit more to, the fan base. I know it means a lot more to them. It means a lot to Coach Rule, coaches, players. I say this, going back to, coaching in this game last year, it felt different. I've only been in a couple of these type rival games, Pitt, West Virginia. I was only a part of that once, but it felt different.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, respect to their program. You got a lot of respect for them, respect for what they've built there over the past, 20 years. But, just like any rivalry game, the intensity is already high,
I don't want to wear a jacket.
Last week's question, where do Penn State and Nebraska rank in all-time wins? Penn State is 7th. Nebraska is 8th in FBS history. Nebraska is 9th overall in Division I behind Yale and just ahead of Harvard. And our winner, Michael Prather from Omaha. He wins a copy of our own Sean Callahan's new book about the Huskers, The Program, the curated history of the Cornhuskers. This week's winner will be announced on next week's show. This week's trivia question, how many straight overtime games have the Huskers lost? That's unnecessary violence. We don't need to have that conversation. Other Husker history flashback, now look back to the last time Nebraska won a game in overtime, came against Iowa, as you all remember. Big Red came back from down 17 points to take a 20-24 lead under Mornay Pearson Els. That's why Nebraska was ranked number 1 in special teams in against Kurt Ferentz and his vaunted punt return game. Iowa came back, took a 31-28 lead when Jack Ruddick hit Jordan Kenzeri for 5 yards under 2 minutes, but Tommy Armstrong led the Huskers back, set up a 37-yard field goal to send the game into extras, and then in the overtime, Tommy Armstrong made a great pass. This is the overtime field goal. And then Kenny Bell, who will always be remembered as the last guy to score a touchdown for Nebraska in the overtime, makes a great catch on the right side of the field, in the end zone, in the air, to win the game in overtime. Good job by Kenny. Good job by Tommy. 37-34, last time that has happened. Well, at least it hasn't been 13-10 for those. We're joined by Stephen M. Sipple from Husker Online. Your favorite Iowa-Nebraska game?
Oh, God. I don't really have a favorite.
1891? No, go ahead.
That's funny.
Thank you.
That's funny.
You're welcome.
Probably the one you showed. That was wild.
2014?
Yeah, that was wild. And it was wild because, the staff got fired that year. And see, you have all these moments when you cover Nebraska where they win a game, but then you see the coaches and the administrators, and they're actually no joy.
Yeah, Colorado, 2003.
It was. I ran into Barney on the elevator, or I was going in. He was coming out. Maybe it was the other way around, but whatever. And stone-faced. They knew what was going on.
Yeah.
It was the bizarre times, but that was a great win, and that was a great throw by Tommy, a great catch.
Yep.
So
Yes.
coming into this, we look at this. I try to just take a 1,000-foot viewpoint now. Nebraska's 7-4, more wins at this point than last year. Obviously, the previous year with Coach Rule, but it still seems unsettling right now. People are still kind of trying to figure out where this program's headed. Why is that?
Because listen, I do think there's progress. First of all. People want to see it, and there's really nothing that you can point to that says, oh yeah, that's discernible progress. That's tangible progress. Your best win is probably Cincinnati, which has lost 3 straight. If it's not Cincinnati, it's probably Northwestern.
Yep.
Those aren't. I mean, those aren't great wins, but they have some good wins, and that's why I point to this game as being so big, because this would be a game where you'd say, okay, now Iowa's not ranked, but we respect them, and look at what they did in mid-October. Look what they did in mid-October when they beat Wisconsin 37-0. They beat Penn State, and they drilled Minnesota 41-3.
Yep.
Right there. Just think about those games in accordance with Nebraska's season. So I respect Iowa, and I think fans have a grudging respect. And if you beat them, you can point to that as tangible, perceptible evidence of progress.
Yeah.
Sipple, when you look at this Iowa series over the last 10 years, how much has it defined Nebraska, and how much has it defined Iowa when you measure what it's done to Nebraska's program and what it's done to Iowa?
Yeah, I mean, it's given Iowa a shot of momentum at the end of seasons and propelled them to better bowls. You know, they get to play the Florida Bowls a lot. They've kind of rode Nebraska's back into Florida, where we'd prefer to be, right? I mean, this game is very representative of that notion. I mean, the winner probably goes to Tampa. If you lose the game, you don't get to go to Florida Bowl. We're going to Vegas. That's not a college football town. That doesn't say anything about college football. It's not as good a bowl. It's dragged Nebraska back this series. Think about the gut punch that was last year's game. Think about how you felt. I mean, we're supposed to be professional, objective people. We were pissed. I mean,
it was his fault.
Yeah, I blamed it all on Sean.
So at 10-0,
He walks over to me.
What did he say?
So basically, I had picked Iowa to win. At 10-0, he walks over, he laughs and goes, "Oh, doesn't look very good for you right now." And I said, "That's a jinx." And that's a jinx. And then after the game,
I was making my victory lap. And,
Yeah.
you know, even like Scott Dockerman, Tom Kaker, they were like, "This game's over."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the two main Iowa, right?
Right.
Nobody at halftime thought Iowa was winning that game.
But that's what they do. That's who they are. And I will say, Sip, Nebraska has kind of developed that mentality this year. They've won some of those games.
Absolutely.
Like that. They have won games with special teams. They've kind of adopted Iowa's mentality. Maybe that can help them get over the top.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot they'll have to do to close out Iowa. Iowa's hard to kill. I mean,
They are.
They're just
They are.
they're hard
They
to
are
kill.
hard to kill, yeah.
You're gonna have to close it out. But Nebraska's special teams are now commensurate. I mean, they're pretty even with Iowa. That definitely helps.
Yeah, this is the first time that Nebraska's put a team this year that has a better net field position and a better ranked special teams. It's the first time this year.
Well, they'll just have to slug it out.
No doubt.
If Nebraska wins, it'll take all day to do it.
No doubt.
Sip, were you surprised that Emmett Johnson did not make the Doak Walker Award finalists?
Not necessarily when I see those three guys.
Yeah.
Those three guys, Sean, are really good. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to make that kind of list. It's not a commentary on Emmett Johnson as much. It's just a commentary on how good those three are and
And the teams.
Yeah, how good the teams are and how tough it is to be in that elite category. He is an elite running back. Emmett's an elite running back. But those guys, if you look at those three guys, yeah, they deserve it. They deserve it.
Sip, what do you want to see from TJ in this game? We've kind of seen the UCLA game plan. We saw what they want to do against Penn State. How do you think Nebraska utilizes him against that stingy Phil Parker Iowa defense?
Well, you know the deal. A lot of it is he's done a good job of avoiding turnovers. That's number one. Jay, you've done this for a long time. When you look at quarterback play, you think about decision making, probably number one. Make good decisions. Don't turn the ball over. Now, what I'd like to see downfield. You got to get it downfield a little bit. They haven't really cut it loose very much. I think you're going to have to, and it's difficult against this defense. This defense, it's not like Phil Parker's going to try to trick him. You know what they do really well? They cover really well. They match routes. They do a lot in the back end that's not complicated. They just do it super well, and the guys are covered. So he's going to have to make some tough passes. To guys that aren't really that open. And I'd like to see him get the ball downfield.
You're my boy.
I am.
So I'm going to say this. That's not true. So if you look at who they played against,
Yeah.
the good wide receivers, whether it's Ian Strong for Rutgers or Michigan State, all those teams have thrown the ball on them. One team throws for 300, another for 250.
Generally speaking, though,
but
you
if
look at
it's a good
Parker's
wide
defense.
receiver, there's a lot of teams in the Big Ten that don't have great wide receivers. But the ones that do, they all threw the ball.
Is it going to
Would
be
you
throwing
consider-
weather, though?
That's my question, the weather-wise.
Thank you, Sean. See, Sean.
Sean, you said last night that the weather wasn't great, and Jet Tamala, a high school kid, threw the ball, right?
Yeah, I mean, his guys were running wide open, but
Well-
he can 7 touchdown passes
Right.
in the worst wind I've seen him a
There
morning.
ain't gonna
Yeah.
be guys running wide open. Trust
Well, I'm
me.
not saying we run wide open, but those, just go back and look at, I think you'll be surprised. Because normally teams do not throw the ball like that against Iowa, and 5 of them this year have been able to do it,
Okay,
which
we'll
kind of
see.
surprised me when I did the research.
Okay. You're assuming I didn't do my research.
No, I always assume you did your research. Am I assuming wrong? What do you think in terms of what the crowd's going to be like? I know that's a big thing. You think Iowa bring some fans?
11 a.m. start might dissuade some people from that. The
What about
weather might.
will dissuade Nebraska fans?
No, there's a little. Nebraska fans seem a little grouchy right now.
A lot of arm crossing.
That's fair.
A lot of old guys with their arms crossed.
Yeah, we have a survey question for that, and people are not happy.
Yeah, don't act surprised. I mean, there seems to be a lot of consternation right now, kind of going off what Jay said earlier. People aren't exactly sure where this is going.
Yeah.
And of course, what happens? Come on, I mean, what happens is when you lose 37-10 at Penn State and they average 5.9 yards a carry, we take that kind of personally here, you know. So I understand why people are a little bit on edge because Iowa comes in here with a better statistically run game. They're better. Iowa's 50th in the country in rushing. Penn State's 63rd. I mean, technically Iowa's a better running team.
They are.
So, yeah, and as Sean has pointed out, or Sean was pointing out in the press box during the game, Iowa hits the edge really well. You know, they run
Outside zone.
outside zone, and they do. I've seen it. I've watched it for years. They do run to the edge really well.
Yeah.
So
Quick stat.
now I did my research on that.
Quick stat for you. Outside zone, Nebraska versus outside zone, they're giving up 16% big plays.
Ugh.
So that's almost 1 out of every 5 of those outside
What's
zone.
going on, Jay?
It's schematically, does Nebraska, are they inside out or an outside in type of team? And I'm still trying to figure this out because
Why are you still trying?
because you see
Don't we
guys.
know?
You see guys.
Play to play, it changes.
But it changes because that's just inconsistency. Well, you see guys that will spill, and not necessarily outside zone. Outside zone is about setting the edge. Your outside guys got to be there. But then on outside zone, your cutback players have to be really, really good. Shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage because if you have a good edge, they're going to try to work back inside. So your backside players got to be strong. But you have guys that spill it, a defensive end that's saying you take your outside shoulder inside, force the ball outside, but then he's spilling to nobody. Then all of a sudden they box it, takes it on, keep your outside arm and leg free, and all of a sudden you have guys working over top. Now there's no one inside. So there's inconsistencies with how Nebraska's playing the run. I mean, you've seen it all year. At times it's really good, but at times it's like he did that, but where's the scraper? Where's the linebacker scraper? There's no one that's getting over top. So that's not as much outside zone because if you set the edge, you'll be fine. But it's more about how the guys play the backside run play there.
Aren't things like that solvable during the week?
Yes. Yeah, better. Yeah, 100%. It's just you got to coach them hard and develop them in that scenario.
Sib, as we kind of wrap things up here, after this game against Iowa, Wednesday is signing day. Transfer portal isn't open until January 2nd. Coaches are not on the road at all in December. How different will this December be from what we've seen in our lifetimes covering college football?
It'll be, I mean, think about it. I mean, just going back over the years where we were, back in the old days when you're covering bowl practices, which was extensive.
And they're on the weekends a lot.
Extensive bowl practice coverage, but recruiting during that. Now, I mean, it's kind of nice in a way for us because we'll cover bowl practice. We'll cover a team getting ready for a bowl. I don't know what access will be like, but I kind of like the idea, just a general idea of covering a team getting ready for a bowl. I hope that Coach Rule allows us quite a bit of access. Probably depends on how this game goes, frankly.
I know that you weren't very excited about going to Vegas, but I think
No, wait a
fans-
second. I am excited about it.
Okay.
Vegas on New Year's
Do your
Eve?
research.
Vegas on New Year's Eve. I think that some fans might want to do that.
He wants
There's a lot
to
of
go to Tampa.
specials. A lot of specials on New Year's Eve. Hotel specials.
Specials.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Yeah.
You don't think?
I imagine.
I know it's not a college town.
Right.
Thank God.
Yeah. I'd rather go to Vegas probably.
Then go to Tampa.
Yeah.
Mandalay Bay is right across the street from the stadium.
Whatever. The frustration, maybe the confusion is, I would say for fans, Nashville would be much better, or Tampa or Nashville would be much better than Vegas. For Sipple, Vegas is better.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I think there's probably some fans that they're pretty excited about wherever Nebraska can go.
Oh,
because
a bowl
for
game,
8 years, they didn't go.
Yeah, now see, I would say, if you're a fan, think about it. You're in position, you're going to a bowl, no matter what. You're not playing for a bowl. So that's progress.
New York was great last year.
God, it was fun.
Sip, we appreciate it as always. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you guys for your tolerance.
And I love when you do your research. Thanks. When we come back, we'll talk recruiting with Sean about signing day right around the corner. Back after this. All right, scores from the championship games. D1, Sandy Creek takes care of Crofton. Why Not takes care of St. Mary's in what was a shootout.
It's a basketball score.
It is. And then this one, of course, is Matt Rule's hometown versus Mitch Sherman's hometown. Waverly beats Gretna East. Wahoo and Sydney, Grand Island Central Catholic and Bishop Neumann. I was impressed by this one because they have some really good players on Bishop Newman's team, 37-15. And Millard South, as we thought it would be, 49-0 over Papillion Vista South. Let's take a look at some of the action from the last couple of days. We'll start with D2, Monday afternoon. Why Not versus St. Mary's. St. Mary's Gage Hedstrom to Zach Cole. You get a couple of looks at this one because what a catch. Wow. One-hander on the sideline. Great job by number 8 there. Then we go to Why Not's Devin Brummer to the end zone to Cotner Cope, who falls on his butt, but makes the catch. Wow. That's a great play right there. St. Mary's wins 71-60. And then last night it was all about Jet Tamala from Millard South. 3 touchdowns to Owen Zek. Jay, what'd you think of him? How do you think he played?
It was this play call right here. How about this is the Warren tight end.
Penn State.
Yep. I mean, that was those 3 extra days and what they're able to do offensively and the preparation, that definitely showed. That was my first time seeing Millard South in person, and they impressed the heck out of me.
Yeah, and of course, Jet is going to end up going to Alabama. We're going to talk some recruiting now with Sean Callahan. Let's talk about Dayton Raiola deciding, to decommit.
Yeah, this all kind of happened after last week's show, but Dayton Raiola opened up his commitment over a week ago. Decommits from Nebraska. has multiple things kind of cooking. It's quiet as far as the headlines where he's looking, but I know he's got multiple Power Fours on him. And I think this is more about Dayton wanting to do his own thing, recognizing the situation at Nebraska with TJ Lateef, his brother, and then Trey Taylor coming. It didn't make sense, I think, for what he wants to do, and he wants to kind of blaze his own path.
I compare it to Peyton Manning deciding not to go to Ole Miss and following his dad. Sometimes you got to go blaze your own path. That makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about Amir Brown, the big commitment Nebraska got this week.
Yeah, they got another 4-star for 2027, Michael. That 2027 recruiting class is ranked around 5th right now in the country.
Right.
I know it fluctuates by the day, but they are cleaning up right now in this 2027 class, which is a year from this year's class.
Right.
But they have done a great job with their NIL and things going on to lock up some of these players. Trey Taylor, obviously the quarterback, leads the way, and he's bringing a lot of these guys into Nebraska.
Yeah. Let's talk about in-state commit Isaac Jensen, pretty good tight end.
Yeah, our in-state spotlight tonight, Isaac Jensen going to Missouri. He was really the lone guy on Millard South's team that had an active Husker offer, chose Missouri, one of the best tight ends we've seen come through the state.
Yep.
Very, very athletic, had a lot of SEC, Big Ten level offers. They had 2 tight ends on that team. Dallas Geist, the other tight end, also outstanding, going to Fresno State. We were talking off air. We think he is a Power 4 guy, too, that Fresno State's lucky to get. But, man, that Millard South team absolutely loaded. Isaac Jensen set the tone in the championship game with a huge touchdown.
Sean, we appreciate it. We're going to be looking back at a lot of these guys, I think, how they end up playing other places. Take a look at the Big Ten standings. As you see, Indiana and Ohio State up top, as they've always been. Oregon, Michigan with the big game, of course, against Ohio State, USC, and Washington. And there's Iowa sitting at 5-3, the battle for 8-4 this weekend. Minnesota, Northwestern, UCLA, obviously not going to make a bowl. Rutgers still has a chance to make a bowl. Penn State has a chance to make a bowl as well, and then the bottom of the standings. Let's take a look around the Big Ten this week. The game in Ann Arbor, big noon. Michigan needs its 5th straight win over the Buckeyes to have a chance to make the college football playoff. Oregon would have to lose to Washington. By the way, the last time Michigan beat Ohio State in 5 in a row, it ended in 1927. It's the last time they beat Ohio State 5 in a row. Indiana heads west to Lafayette. Of course, that is the big game, Oak and Bucket game there Friday for her chance, their first 12-0 season ever. Here are your rankings and brackets. Take a look at the Big Ten in the college football playoff. Ohio State and Indiana at 1 and 2. Oregon there at 3. And then you got Michigan with still a shot and USC at number 17. They are now out of it after the loss last week. Let's take a look at here's the bracket. You see Ohio State, Georgia, Indiana, and A&M as your top 4 seeds. The big question is what happens with Miami. Right there, they're in at number 12. We asked in this week's sideline survey, what is your mood heading into the Iowa game? 45% still unhappy, leading the number. Angry and don't care. If you look at just the bottom part of that, people are not happy at all. They're not happy at all.
Larry and I discussed this last night, and I said, well, I'm not pleased, I'm not okay with it. I'm not angry, and I do care, so I guess I'm unhappy.
So
I'm unhappy.
That's the only spot.
I like the word frustrated.
Yeah, frustrated.
I think frustrated should be like the next option.
Because Nebraska's had, and they have another one this week, they had the chance against Michigan, USC, and Penn State. Those were your 3 chances to really say this was a very successful season. And they lost all 3 of those games. And you throw on top of that the worst performance against Minnesota, in my opinion. That's what makes the frustration.
I agree 100%. It's just getting yourself back into the upper echelon in the Big Ten. You have your opportunities to win those games. They just haven't done it. And they've looked like they don't belong in the same field at those times. USC was the closest. I will say that was the closest one that they had. But that Minnesota game, I'm still puzzled by that.
They probably don't lose the game if Dylan doesn't get hurt against USC.
I would agree.
I mentioned this, first time an opponent, and this is Iowa, better net field position than Nebraska, and a higher ranked special teams. It doesn't happen a lot this year. And then I mentioned earlier, Michigan, Minnesota, USC, Northwestern, and Penn State averaged 211 yards rushing. Sean, can Nebraska limit them to a number that allows them to win this game?
It's early down success. Last week Penn State had an average of 6.4 yards on first down runs.
Yeah.
So their average second down play was 2nd and 3.5. And if Iowa does that, they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
And I think what worries me more, honestly, is Gronowski, especially in the red zone. He has 13 rushing touchdowns, and his ability to scramble and move around has become their biggest offensive weapon. The running game with Moulton is solid, but he only has 2 touchdowns. He's kind of the guy that gets the driveway right to the garage.
Yeah.
And then it's Gronowski that pulls the cart.
Yeah, he's got 11 rushing touchdowns in the Big Ten.
11 in the Big Ten, 13 on the year.
Yeah.
Where Moulton only has 2 on the year, but
Yeah.
he's a very good kind of get them in the red zone, and then
Yeah.
Gronowski does what he does once they get to the red zone.
And Moulton wasn't even the starter to start the season off.
That's Iowa in a nutshell,
Yeah,
though.
that's who they are. Andy in email says, it seems like Holgorsen is being overly cautious with Latif. You feel that?
Yeah, at times. I mean, brought up a great point. Move the ball down the field. I mean, I will say though, with Dylan though, you have not seen a ton of deep over routes.
He wasn't
deep,
very
deep
accurate on
shots.
those,
Yeah, so Nebraska. I mean, just with Holgorsen, just kind of his play calling and that offense, it is a lot of intermediate. I will say they got to get the ball down the field, but I want to see more mesh routes with this. The offense has been rather simple. I get the freshmen. Yeah, they need to start taking some shots and really loosening up that secondary of Iowa.
One of the things I thought was really interesting when I started breaking down Iowa was the way their sacks are distributed. So they have 3 different guys who have 6 or more sacks. You just don't see that a lot. Usually it's one dominant guy, maybe a second, but across the board, it's an experienced, tough, and defensive line that gets after you.
And it's a belief in the system and knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you heard the Husker coaches talk about that on Tuesday, that you can watch Iowa film from 2010. It's the exact same plays and schemes.
Yeah.
And so I just think that their culture of their program, all the players are so familiar with the scheme and they execute it.
And efficiency. They're so incredibly efficient. And a big reason is because you got a guy who's been there for 27 years.
Their defense, their defensive line, they're not twitchy. This is vastly different than what we saw from Michigan. Those guys have those
Right.
freaks of nature coming off of the edge and with speed and power. They're not going to blow you off the line of scrimmage. What they're going to do is they're going to play solid, heavy hands, technique. They're going to probably bull rush, and they're going to convert. They're going to get you off your heels, and they're going to work aside. Trust that their back end's going to cover. Trust that the QB is going to hold on for more than 3 seconds, and they're going to get off a block and go make a tackle. It's nothing. There's not a lot of speed, not a ton of athleticism. It's just tough, solid Iowa football. That's what they hang their hat on, and that's what we've seen for 20-plus years now.
Kirk Ferentz went through those seniors that are on that defensive line and talked about how, some of those guys came in, they weighed 240 pounds, 250 pounds, and they built them up in there, fifth-year senior guys. Can we talk a little about what Nebraska's guys might be when they get to that point too?
Yeah, you like what they've done in the younger classes. I mean, I look at Tyson Terry, Malcolm Simpson, Cade Pedshock. On the other end, I mean, I think Preston Talmua and maybe Grant Bricks. I mean, some of these younger linemen, Gibson Pyle, who's hurt. The key is you've got to stick with the plan.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Nebraska football, whatever their plan is, very few coaches have had much of a chance to finish the plan.
Yeah.
And Iowa's had the 27-year window to kind of, they take a Cade Pieper from Norfolk Catholic. Nobody from the Power Four offered him other than Iowa. Well, he's a starter now, and he's doing really well in the Big Ten.
It's having patience in today's day and age is so hard. Kids think they need to produce earlier. Coaches, fan bases think they need to produce earlier. Iowa's just they stick with their system, right? And they just know, hey, if the guys they're not producing 2 years, okay, we know he'll be there in year 3, year 4, maybe year 5.
They're the tortoise. They're the tortoise.
They are.
Right? Slow and steady.
Yes, patience is key sometimes, and you can being impatient is not necessarily a good thing. So I think Nebraska needs to stress a little more patience sometime.
Real quick from Fred, Dayton decommitting, how much does that affect the future of Dylan Raiola?
I guess we'll have to see. I mean, it's really hard today, the eve of this game, to really know what direction that goes. But you have to think there is some thoughts and decisions going on behind the scenes of where this is all going to go. It's hard to imagine a world where they're both here because Tito Latif is going to command a market, and Dylan Raiola is one of the highest paid already in the game. So how do you manage that with both, and what do you do at that point? So this is going to be a very fluid discussion, and the portal doesn't open until January 2nd.
Right, but they can.
But guys could declare and make decisions, but you just don't have a very good feel right now about it as far as Dylan and kind of the depending on how Latif does here down the stretch.
So that's, I think, the PR part of it. If Latif doesn't play well, the PR part of if Dylan left would be really bad. Latif has to play really well over these next 2 games for it not to be bad PR. I know PR doesn't mean everything, but nationally, I know something that Coach Rule talks about a lot.
Yeah, it does. It's a tough decision. Pat Stewart, the general manager, is going to be fully involved in this and trying to figure out the dollars and try to make sense of this all. But you can't. I mean, you got to figure out what's best for this team.
Yeah.
I think
And those are good numbers.
Those are great numbers, and he's going to get. There's going to be a lot of Power 4 teams that are going to call that will take his services, and he's going to demand. I mean, Sean's right, but just trying to figure out what's best for this team. Can you reallocate some dollars? But again, it's a tricky situation with with the family history with Dylan, what he's done already. Some tough discussions and some tough decisions are going to have to be made.
This is what I know. Last time at the state championship games, Emmett Johnson was right with TJ Lateef and all the key guys on the team.
Right.
So there's no question he's gained some respect of this locker room.
Sure.
Because here's the front line dudes, and you have TJ Lateef right with those guys. And that got my attention just being around the stadium the last couple of days.
Everybody says that he's really likable and he works really hard, and there's nothing like a teammate that works really hard. You're going to like that guy.
Yeah, the guy that goes to battle. He took some shots in that Penn State game, got up, I thought, a couple times, like, woo. And he got up and fought, and he showed the ability to use his legs. And you always love a guy that's going to work hard and is going to battle. You can deal with mistakes if he owns it, and he's going to battle with you. You can go to war with a guy like that. So it's this dynamic of this whole situation. Year in and year out in college football, no better team is it's going to be interesting to see how it comes down the stretch.
Yeah, and David on Facebook asked about the run defense earlier in the show. If you want to go back and look, you did a good job of breaking down exactly what the issues are. All right, let's go to the burning questions.
My burning question is, can Nebraska's run defense make the adjustments this week needed to win this game?
Yeah, TJ Lateef, I'm looking offense. Is Nebraska going to take some shots? Utilize his legs too, but are they going to open it up and take some shots on the field to attack that Iowa secondary?
Can Nebraska make one or two plays on special teams, the plays that Iowa's made in previous years, to help them win the game? That's a big part of the game, who wins special teams. Two great special teams. Our picks for the Iowa game, you can check out, of course, the prediction on Facebook, X, and Big Red Wrap-Up's webpage. And next week on Big Red Wrap-Up, we'll be back to our normal time and night on Tuesday and recap the Iowa game for you. We'll look forward to signing day on Big Red Wrap-Up at 7 p.m. on Nebraska Public Media. You can also tune in on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and our website, nebraskapublicmedia.org. Our special thanks to Stephen M. Sipple. For Jay Moore and Sean Callahan, I'm Michael Severe. We'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving right here on Big Red Wrap-Up.